My beloved, do you think it's an accident that you're hearing my voice right now? No. Heaven planned this moment long before you took your first breath. Here on Holy Voices, we share the whispers of eternity, the messages that change hearts and awaken destinies. If your soul is ready, stay with me, because what you're about to hear might be the very word your spirit has been waiting for. Proverbs 27 verse 17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Subscribe to Holy Voices and sharpen faith with us. Chosen one, I need you to comprehend the seriousness of what is happening because your name has been brought up a lot lately. Every individual who has ever seen your genuine excellence has been activated by the universe, and they are now speaking your name into rooms full of opportunities, retrieving your contact information for those in dire need of what you have to offer, and defending your reputation against detractors who are unaware of your existence. The era of recognition has started. Additionally, leveling up is now a matter of when rather than if. This wave of references is amazing since it's illuminating the full extent of your influence. People who hardly remember you are saying that you made them see things differently. You are being cited as an example of excellence by coworkers you briefly worked with. People you encountered in passing are referring you for opportunities because they were impressed by your genuineness. Everywhere you walk, you've been sowing the seeds of good impressions, frequently without even noticing it. And now those seeds are growing into suggestions that have the power to completely change the course of your life. They are more than just sporadic instances of people remembering you positively. The frequency and intensity of these conversations are out of the ordinary and cannot be explained by natural causes. The cosmos seems to have awakened everyone who has ever seen your true self and is now urging them to call your name into being whenever chances are being addressed. This is your reputation's cosmic amplification. And it's taking place because you finished the preparatory stage. These references are of a caliber that most people may never encounter in their lifetime. Your name isn't mentioned with courteous acknowledgement or careless disinterest. When people talk about you, they get excited. When you describe your capabilities, they get animated. When they attest to your character, they do so with conviction. Even though they may not be aware of it, there's a sense of excitement in their voice because they are reacting to something divine in you that speaks to their best selves. Because as your name becomes more popular in pleasant talks, it's also making individuals who believed they had managed to extinguish your light feel old and jealous. Your unidentified adversaries are being awakened by the same energy that is attracting supporters. And a spiritual conflict that has been foretold for your life is just getting started. At first, the rumors came slowly. Over coffee, someone told a coworker about your work ethic. An acquaintance who was in dire need of exactly what you offer was referred to you by another individual. Something deep within of them sensed the quality of your soul, and a third party found themselves defending your character to someone who had never ever met you. These were no chance encounters or accidental discussions. The universe was setting you up for a breakthrough that had been building for years. And the evidence keeps piling up around you like the concluding pieces of a cosmic puzzle. You see, there is a certain aspect of spiritual recognition that you must comprehend. The universe pays attention when people are putting in the inner work, being genuine every day, helping others without anticipating instant gratification, and developing their character in the background while others are performing for the crowd. And when the universe notices, it starts to move chances, people, and situations in ways that will completely blow your mind. This isn't spiritual evasion or wishful thinking. You're about to get a first-hand look at the rule of spiritual momentum in action. Your name is increasingly being spoken strategically, specifically, and in relation to initiatives that have the potential to actually change your situation. Recently, your name was mentioned in a way that caused someone in a position of responsibility to pay attention. Someone they implicitly trust has recommended you to a decision-maker who has been having trouble finding the perfect candidate for a big post. Because your reputation preceded them into your knowledge, a gatekeeper who typically protects access to unique chances is now inquiring about you. This stage is noteworthy because of how your name is spanning geographical areas, social circles, and industrial borders. Individuals who have never met before are independently coming to the same conclusion about your character and ability. It is impossible to create this kind of naturally occurring, broad recognition by marketing or networking. It's the outcome of genuine excellence gaining momentum on its own and progressing towards something far bigger than you can now imagine. Additionally, the mentions are getting more precise and thorough. People are giving particular examples of your problem-solving skills, your distinct viewpoint, your ability to handle pressure, and your talent for bringing out the best in others in place of general platitudes like you being nice or decent. They are narrating anecdotes of how you have gone above and beyond expectations, shown integrity in the face of adversity, or how your presence alone has improved the mood of a scenario. This cosmic positioning is intriguing because it frequently occurs when you least expect it to. You may have wondered if your efforts were having any impact at all and felt as though you were living your life in relative obscurity. You may have wondered if your contributions were genuinely valued, if your efforts were significant, or if you were headed in the correct direction. Since these doubts are the last stage of testing before a significant breakthrough, they are a logical choice. The universe had to make sure that your intentions were sincere, that you weren't just working for approval from others, that you had the inner fortitude to face what was about to happen, and that what was going to happen will surprise you. You are about to encounter opportunities that will come from unexpected angles. People you hardly know will suggest you for jobs that could completely alter your course in life. Relationships you formed months or even years ago will now start to pay off in the most surprising ways. This isn't just a coincidence. Every sincere conversation you've had, every instance of real service you've rendered, and every instance in which you put honesty ahead of expediency have all contributed to this moment of acknowledgement and promotion. Your name is currently associated with something very significant in the business world. Suddenly, recruiters who have never been in touch with you before are looking for someone who possesses the same set of skills as you. Employers are asking their contacts whether they know somebody who is similar to you. Owners of businesses are complaining that they are having trouble finding trustworthy individuals. And the exception to that rule that keeps coming up is your name. This isn't arbitrary. This is the cosmos opening up all of your professional contacts to pave the route for your career growth. It's more than simply professional acknowledgement, though. It's gaining momentum. You may be surprised to learn that your personal reputation is also rising to new heights. In addition to promoting you to their other friends as someone they know, friends are also introducing you as someone they admire and respect. People are increasingly inviting you to social events because they truly appreciate your company and want you to be a part of their special occasions. Prospective dates learn about you from mutual acquaintances who rave about your personality, piquing their interest before you have even met. Something else emerges from the shadows as your light brightens, chances start to come your way, and your name becomes more well-known in discussions across many spheres of influence. Those who have been functioning from a position of scarcity, jealousy, and wounded ego are also experiencing something worse as a result of the very success that is attracting advocates and supporters. You're going to learn that blessings aren't the only thing that come with being elevated. It also exposes the actual character of those who conceal their jealousy behind phony friendships. You may initially be shocked by this realization. You may start to wonder how people you thought of as allies, people you trusted, and people you supported could suddenly become unfriendly or even antagonistic toward your achievement. That since it's teaching you discernment on a level you've never encountered before, this is truly one of the most significant breakthroughs in your chosen one trip. You're learning to tell the difference between people who want to grow with you and those who want to dim your light in order to feel better about their own stagnation, and between those who applaud your ascent and those who secretly despise it. It is impossible to overstate the importance of this phase's spiritual warfare component. The forces of resistance come into play when someone is genuinely selected for a meaningful purpose, when they are bearing divine missions that will affect not just their own life but the lives of many others. This isn't paranoid or a fantasy of spirituality. Every significant person in history has encountered this well-documented occurrence when they started to realize their full potential. There will be attempts to sap your vitality, divert your focus from your goal, and cause you to question your own value and purpose. Every obstacle you've surmounted has strengthened your spiritual immune system, and you're more resilient than you think. There will be different types of attacks. Some of these will be overt, direct conflicts, rumors, and attempts to ruin your chances. Subtle energy vampires will be the ones who abruptly demand more of your time and focus. Those who attempt to blame your achievement on you. People who try to minimize your accomplishments by blaming them on chance instead of hard work. But in reality, every one of these difficulties is contributing to your growth. They're teaching you to guard your energy, to set boundaries guilt-free, to believe your gut about what people really want, and to act with compassion and knowledge. Someone from your past is currently observing your rise. Someone who believed that they had written you off. Someone who thought their rejection or treachery had ruined your life forever. This individual is watching your ascent with a mix of anger and remorse. And they're going to try to get back into your life. They will arrive with presents of fabricated crises and fake flattery in an attempt to get a foothold near your new chances so they can either take advantage of them or completely ruin them. You may notice that you withdraw more than normal during this period of resistance and revelation. This behavior is not antisocial. This is the manifestation of spiritual wisdom. You're naturally making room for the change that's taking place inside of you. Room for the new possibilities to establish themselves. Give yourself permission to let go of old habits and relationships that aren't serving your best interests. Isolation is not the goal of this hermit phase. It has to do with incubation. You're getting ready for emergence on a level that will take you by surprise. The lovely irony is that your value actually rises in the eyes of people who really matter as you become more strategic about what you share and with whom, and more careful about who gets access to your energy. Every time you give, you break the spirit of lack. A $50 seed into holy voices is declaring abundance over your life. People start to respect your own space. They begin to understand that having access to you is a privilege rather than a right. They realize that since you are obviously meant for something important, your time and attention have become valuable resources. One of the most obvious indicators that your recognition phase has started is this change in how other people view and interact with you. However, acknowledgement entails accountability. And this is where a whole new level of character testing will take place. Opportunities abound in doors that appear to be permanently locked open. You'll have to decide how to use this newfound power as people start looking to you for leadership and direction. The cosmos is keeping an eye on you to see if success will further purify or corrupt your heart. Will you be able to recall your origins? Will you make advantage of your position to encourage others? Will you confidently assume your power while maintaining your humility? These inquiries will establish not only how long your success will last, but also how profoundly you will eventually influence the world. The acknowledgement you're getting goes beyond your career accomplishments and financial prosperity. Even if those components are unquestionably included, people are seeing more in your personality, your genuineness, and your capacity to maintain your integrity in a society that frequently prioritizes appearance over content. They observe your ability to handle difficulties gracefully, to treat everyone with dignity, regardless of their position, and to uphold your morals even when it would be simpler to make concessions. This is the reason your name keeps coming up when people are discussing who to recommend, who to trust, and who to invite to significant events and opportunities. Whatever raw ingredients life throws at you, you have the extraordinary power to turn them into something lovely and worthwhile. You are essentially a producer of good transformation, whether it is transforming traumatic events into knowledge that benefits others, transforming few resources into plentiful results, or taking broken relationships and drawing lessons that fortify your character. This explains why people are attracted to you even when they don't fully comprehend why. They feel that being in your presence enhances their own chances of development and achievement. This producer's energy at work is evident in the context in which your name is discussed. People are recommending you for more than simply your abilities. They are suggesting you because of who you are and how you make the world a better place. They have seen your capacity to join mediocre efforts and inspire excellence, to walk into turmoil and bring order, to enter dysfunction and establish health. It is this transformative presence that renders you indispensable. And it explains why your mentions are growing more regular and fervent. Your producer identity's ability to function on several levels at once is its most impressive feature. In addition to delivering observable outcomes in your work, you are also positively impacting everyone you come into contact with in tangible ways. After interacting with you, people feel more capable, more optimistic, and more motivated to reach their own potential. The strongest loyalty and the most fervent recommendations are produced by this secondary layer of production, this development of human happiness. People are mentioning your name because they know what it's like to be in your presence when you're totally in your element as a producer. They have witnessed you multiply few resources into plenty. They have seen how you can turn bad circumstances into good ones. They have seen your capacity to identify possibilities where others perceive issues and to come up with solutions when others perceive only barriers. That's why when people talk about you, their excitement is so real. They're not merely praising your abilities. They are attesting to your ability to bring about constructive change. Selected 1. Messages like these are accessible to anyone, but few will take advantage of their full potential. That's what we're here to help you with. You've been waiting your entire life for this moment. The weekly Selected Ones group calls are now available on Zoom. These gatherings are actual power vortices where chosen people merge their awareness to create something that is impossible to exist in isolation, forging destinies. Everything changes at this point. You enter your brilliance at this point. A portal opens once a week, but only for those who dare to enter. Members of the Holy Voices Inner Order at the Watcher level can participate in these life-changing experiences and feel the energy flow through their whole body. Participants in our most recent meeting were astounded to learn that the Great Pyramids of Giza were actually highly advanced ancient power plants and that the layout of Washington, D.C., exactly matched the Kabbalistic tree of life. Members of the Star Chamber have unrestricted access to the whole collection of recordings. It is a wealth of knowledge that increases in value every week. This is the moment that defines you. There is nowhere else to find the information, the connection, and the power that come through these calls. Become a member of the Holy Voices Inner Order immediately. The description contains a link. Your presence is not only appreciated, but also required while there are still a few Star Chamber spots available. The call has been ringing in your soul. Will you answer it? Now is the moment. You'll see that opportunities start to show up in groups rather than as solitary occurrences when this realization gains traction. One suggestion triggers another. 3 more projects are made possible by one successful one. You can meet a whole network of people who share your values with just one significant connection. This is the manifestation of divine timing's exponential character. When the cosmos determines that it is your time, it does more than simply open one door. It forges a network of interrelated opportunities that are difficult to generate with human endeavor alone. The individuals who are currently standing up for you may not even completely comprehend the reasons behind their feelings of obligation to advocate for you. Something in their soul understands your purpose in life, the great influence you may have, and the genuineness that has become so uncommon in a world full of staged appearances. Beyond their conscious understanding, they are being influenced in order to set you up for success. Additionally, this is occurring concurrently in other aspects of your life. Your reputation is turning into your greatest advantage, but it's also making you a target for people who work against real success. People who have never met you but feel threatened by your increasing influence are defending your reputation in boardrooms, coffee shops, and social events. Even though these defenders aren't aware that they are engaged in a spiritual conflict, their words are obstructing your prospects and opening doors for your progress. This reputation revolution is especially fascinating because it's having a compounding influence on various aspects of your life. Your personal integrity is bolstering your professional chances, and your professional reputation is improving your personal relationships. People are starting to perceive you as a whole person, whose quality permeates all area of their lives rather than being segmented. In a world where most people find it difficult to remain consistent across situations, this comprehensive insight is uncommon and extremely beneficial. Additionally, your name is starting to be mentioned more purposefully and strategically. Friendly referrals and casual compliments are no longer enough. People are constantly looking for ways to put you in touch with resources, platforms, and people who could increase your influence. They are not waiting for favorable conditions or the right moment. Because they see your potential and want to be a part of your success, they are generating chances for you. Doors that would not normally open for someone with your level of fame are being opened by your reputation. Your name is being brought up in exclusive circles as someone to keep an eye on, someone with unrealized potential, and someone worth investing in before the general public realizes what these insiders are starting to see. The groundwork for faster growth that might avoid the usual steady advancement that most people go through is being set by this early acknowledgement from influential people. There are conversations in your professional life where your name is brought up as the answer to issues you were unaware existed. When someone expresses a need, they think of you first because they need exactly what you offer. Someone is searching for someone with your unique set of abilities, moral character, and vision. Additionally, you are being independently recommended for consideration by a number of people. This is not an accident. This is the pinnacle of divine orchestration. They go beyond merely filling positions and resolving issues. When they hear about you, visionary leaders start to envision completely different scenarios. Positions that may be developed especially for your skills, initiatives that could be started based on your ideas, and alliances that could be established to take advantage of your distinct viewpoint. People with the means and power to make such ideas a reality are being inspired to innovate by your reputation. The culmination of all the possibilities, recognition, spiritual battles, and character growth has led to this one decision. You are going to be given a chance that will force you to fully utilize your abilities in order to assert your identity as a chosen one without fear or regret, and to use your influence for a cause that is much bigger than your own career progress. This chance will be presented as a risk. It will ask you to commit to results you cannot promise, to step into a level of visibility and responsibility that part of you wants to avoid, and to trust in abilities you are unsure you possess. Just before you have to make this choice, the doubters will be most vocal. Your $20 super thanks may look small, but in God's hands, small seeds bring great harvests. Mark 4 verses 31 to 32. You will re-experience every insecurity you believed you had conquered. You'll remember everyone who ever told you that you weren't talented, competent, or worthy enough. But you'll hear something more in addition to those voices of constraint. Your destiny's plain, unambiguous call. The weight of everyone who called you by name in places you never went to, who saw your potential when you didn't, and who put their trust in your abilities and character will weigh heavily on you. You'll feel its presence. Of heavenly intellect that has spent years arranging events and relationships to lead you to this precise decision-making moment. At this pivotal moment, the adversary you have been spotting in the shadows will make their last move. They will try to inundate your thoughts with arguments for playing it safe, accepting less favorable circumstances, and questioning the very recognition that has led you to this point. They will bring to memory prior setbacks, instances where you trusted someone and were let down, and occasions when you tried harder but failed. This is their final opportunity to ruin your life. They are aware of it. However, you will make a choice that will surprise everyone, even yourself. Because you have been ready for this very moment for all those years of character development, all those times you have served others without expecting anything in return, and all those times you have chosen integrity over convenience. You will finally realize that human effort alone did not earn your recognition, and you will enter this opportunity with a confidence that will astound even you. It was a result of divine appointment. Everything changes the instant you make this decision, the instant you truly accept your role as a chosen one, and the moment you resolve to use your influence for good. Opportunities that appear too wonderful to be true turn out to be just the right fit for your abilities and goals. Those that supported you behind closed doors end up supporting and working with you in public. The opposition that seemed so overpowering turns into motivation for your goal, demonstrating that it was, in fact, affirmation of your calling. The former acquaintance who attempted to re-enter your life during your sensitive time of transition will either change their heart and sincerely wish you well, or they will come clean and leave your orbit completely. Because you've gained the ability to distinguish between genuine support and deceptive interference, any result is in your best interests. Instead of forcing yourself back into social circulation, your hermit phase ends because the work you've been doing alone has equipped you for a level of interaction that energizes rather than depletes you. You come away with a clear understanding of your purpose, self-assurance in your abilities, and discernment about who should have access to your time and focus. Now, the murmurs that began this whole adventure become statements. Your name is now proudly uttered in public settings as an example of what can happen when someone truly commits to growth and service, rather than being referenced hesitantly in private talks. The recognition that started out as a few suggestions has grown into ongoing credibility that gives you access to opportunities you were unaware existed. The possibilities that used to seem overwhelming now seem like logical progressions of your developed skills. Once a burden, the responsibility now feels like the privilege it was always intended to be. The force that used to frighten you is now a potent instrument for bringing about constructive change on a scale that goes well beyond your personal existence. What began as whispers in coffee shops has grown into a transformational movement that affects every area of your influence. Your career success encourages others to strive for ethics and greatness. In a society full of surface-level interactions, your personal relationships serve as an example of what true connection looks like. Your spiritual journey shows that despite strong opposition and difficulty, it is possible to hold on to faith and hope. As you traverse ever-increasing levels of influence and opportunity, the same supernatural intelligence that organized your recognition continues to direct your actions. The universe didn't put this much effort into your success only to see you reach the first level of success and then plateau. You're getting ready for a long-lasting effect that will get worse with time. Influencing lives over generations and generating positive change ripple effects that are more harder to monitor or quantify. Your moment has arrived, which is why your name is being spoken. Furthermore, the world needs what you carry, which is why your name is being mentioned. Your special blend of competence, dedication to service, and sincerity. The acknowledgement you are currently receiving is only the start of a legacy that will continue to speak long after you are no longer physically present. An enduring legacy founded on sincere morals and a sincere desire to serve the common good. The murmurs have turned into exclamations of joy. The chances have evolved into platforms for influence. And while staying rooted in the service and humility that made it all possible, your destiny has come to pass, surpassing even your most audacious goals. Beloved soul, if this message has spoken to your heart, don't let it end here. Click that like button so the light can spread to more people who need hope. Subscribe to Holy Voices so you never miss the next word heaven has for you. And leave a comment below. I read every one, and I pray over them. Remember, faith grows when we share it, so share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Until we meet again, may God's peace cover you and His voice guide your every step.